Chapter 61. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After taking a 3-month leave from Qin Ming, Yu Tianlin brought Lingling back to Thunder Academy on the same day. By the time the two of them arrived at Thunder Academy, it was already a bit late. The academy was completely silent, and there was no one on the road. Yu Tianlin had a clear goal, and instead of going back to her dormitory first, she took Lingling to the dean's apartment, and went to find the deputy dean of Thunderstorm through the back door. At this time, the lights in the dean's apartment were still on, indicating that the thunderstorm hadn't rested yet, so Yu Tianlin didn't have to worry about disturbing him, so he went straight to knock on the door. Master Tianlin. It was a maid who opened the door. Seeing that it was Yu Tianlin, she saluted naturally, and then said, "You are here to see Dean Lei, right now. He is in the study on the second floor. I'll take you there." Yu Tianlin nodded to the maid. "Well, I'm sorry to trouble you." The maid smiled subtly, and then turned around to lead the way. Although she was a little curious about Yu Tianlin bringing a girl to visit Thunderstorm late at night, her good professionalism prevented her from asking. The dean's apartment in Thunderstorm is relatively large, so he had to find a few servants to help take care of it. Yu Tianlin met several people who saluted him along the way, and Yu Tianlin nodded in response. After arriving outside the study door on the second floor, the maid knocked on the door 3 times, and heard the voice of a thunderstorm coming from the door. "What's the matter? Come in." The maid only pushed open the door at this moment, but instead of going in, she made a gesture of invitation to Yu Tianlin. Yu Tianlin pulled Lingling into the study, and saw Lei Feng sitting behind the desk, holding a book in his hand. "Tianlin. It's you." Thunderstorm said in surprise, "What's going on? All the teachers in your class have told me that you didn't go to class these days. If you didn't receive the news that you are fine, I thought something was wrong with you." Yu Tianlin explained apologetically, "Uncle Lei, I went to Tiando Royal Academy to play with my eldest brother these few days, and I didn't ask for leave beforehand, which made you worry. I just guessed that you went to find Tianheng, but I didn't expect that to be the case." Thunderstorm nodded as expected, then turned his gaze to Lingling who was beside Yu Tianlin, and asked, "This yes." Yu Tianlin hastily introduced, "Uncle Lei, she is Lingling, Martial Soul 9 Heart Begonia, Level 23 Master of Auxiliary System Tool Soul." Lingling also took advantage of the opportunity and bowed slightly to Lei Tian, and saluted, "Hello, Dean Lei. 9 Heart Begonia." Lei Feng thought for a while, then raised his eyebrows, looked at Yu Tianlin with a half-smile and said, "I have a little impression. I remember that Tiando Royal Academy seems to have recruited a person who has the spirit of 9 Heart Begonia student. Good guy, even he knows this kind of thing. It seems that the Deputy Dean of Thunderstorm is still very competent. He has a certain understanding of the famous students with powerful martial spirits in various colleges." Yu Tianlin coughed dryly, "Ahem, Uncle Thunderstorm, I really can't hide it from you. Sister Lingling is a student of Tiando Royal Academy, and my elder brother is a teammate. Come on, what's the matter with coming to see me so late?" Thunderstorm leaned back on the chair and crossed his legs. "You're not that self-conscious. You'll report to me when you come back." "It's like this, Uncle Thunderbolt." Yu Tianlin said, "Sister Lingling took a 3-month leave at Tiando Royal Academy to come and learn something from me, but she doesn't have a place to live in Thunderstorm Academy. So I came to you to see if I can open a single dormitory for Sister Lingling." "That's it? I thought it was a big deal." When Thunderstorm heard Yu Tianlin's words, there was a smile on the corner of his mouth, and then he took out a document from the desk drawer, filled it out with a few strokes, and then stamped his vice president's seal. Passing the paper to Yu Tianlin, Lei Feng said, "You take this document to the dormitory administrator and ask him to open you a private room." After looking at the contents of the document, and then receiving it into the dragon pattern ring, Yu Tianlin said, "Thank you Uncle Lei, but I have one more thing to do. In the next 3 months, I'm afraid I won't be able to go to the classroom very much, Uncle Lei." "No." However, Thunderstorm directly interrupted Yu Tianlin's words, and said with a frown, "Xiao Tianlin, it's easy to talk about other things, but if you don't go to class, you can't do it. If your grades are too bad, I won't be able to explain to Mingfeng then. Uncle Thunderbolt, there will be no problem. Yu Tianlin wanted to persuade Lei Storm. Actually, I understand what the teacher said in class. I learned it in the sect before, so it is a waste of time to go to class. Serve as a reinforcement. And I do have important things to deal with during this time. I am going to get acquainted with the self-created soul skill Chidori, and match it with my soul ring skill. Well, here Yu Tianlin didn't tell Lei Tianlin that he was going to develop another self-created soul skill called Helix Wan, otherwise he would have to explain a lot of trouble, so he could just use the original self-created soul skill Chidori as an excuse. It is indeed a relatively important thing to adapt the self-created soul skills and soul ring skills. Hearing Yu Tianlin's explanation, Lei Tianlin couldn't help but nodded, and said, well, I agree with you for these 3 months. Free activities, but you must make an agreement, you must reach the top 10 in the final assessment of this year, otherwise you will not be allowed to run around in the next few semesters, and you must stay in the academy and study hard. How about it? There are more than 200 students in the Lei Ming class. It is not easy to rank among the top 10 in the final assessment. After all, the final assessment not only tests strength, but also tests knowledge. Not going anywhere, but Yu Tian agreed without hesitation. Okay, that's it, thank you Uncle Lei, I have nothing else to do, see you again, Uncle Lei. After finishing speaking, Yu Tianlin took Yi Lingling's hand and left in a hurry. After all, it's getting late now, so it's better to get this matter done quickly. This kid. Seeing Yu Tianlin running away in a hurry without even closing the door, Thunderstorm shook his head helplessly. He could only get up and go to close the door, and then continue with his own business. After asking the dormitory administrator to open a dormitory for Yi Lingling, Yu Tianlin also returned to her dormitory. Not to mention, Yu Tianlin was still a little unaccustomed to being together with Yi Lingling for the past few days, and now they were suddenly separated. However, this feeling was quickly left behind by him. From tomorrow onwards, the spiral pill will be officially developed. Yu Tianlin needs to recall the details of the prince's learning of this skill, so as not to go astray. And without the assistance of balloons, some corresponding changes must be made in the development process. End of this chapter. Chapter 62 Successful Development, The Power of Helix Pill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. From the next day, Yu Tianlin and Yi Lingling officially entered the development state, but before developing the Helix Pill, Yi Lingling had to improve her ability to control the soul power, so Yu Tianlin asked her to practice climbing trees and treading water. Fortunately, Yi Lingling is different from Yu Tianlin and Shui Binger. Her soul power has no obvious attributes, so she doesn't need to restrain her attributes, just climb trees and tread water. As for Yu Tianlin, he started the preliminary development of Helix Pill. In Naruto, the learning of Helix Wan is divided into 3 stages. The first stage requires a balloon. Fill the balloon with water and put it on the palm of your hand. Then release chakra from your palm to stir the water in the balloon until the balloon explodes. The essence of this is to stir irregularly so that the balloon can be broken. However, there is no such thing as a balloon on the Douluo Continent, but it doesn't matter. Yu Tianlin found a substitute, a porcelain bowl as crisp as thin ice. This thing is fired very thin and brittle. According to Yu Tianlin's estimate, if he can break through the balloon, then the effect on this porcelain bowl should be the same, so he can use this thing to replace the balloon. Fill the porcelain bowl with water, and then Yu Tianlin put his hand about 5 centimeters above the porcelain bowl. He didn't really touch the porcelain bowl, but just released the soul power to stir the water in the porcelain bowl. At the beginning, the soul power released by Yu Tianlin could only spin in one direction, so the water in the porcelain bowl was stirred into a whirlpool by him, but this was useless. It could not break the porcelain bowl, only it can keep shaking with the rotation of the water. Fortunately, Yu Tianlin already knew the essence of the first stage, so he worked hard to control his soul power to develop in the direction of irregular movement, and finally completed it 4 days later, stirring up the irregular flow of the water, smashing the porcelain bowl. Just at this time, Yi Lingling completed the training of climbing trees and treading water. Yu Tianlin told her his experience and asked her to start the first stage of practice, while he started to study the second stage. The second stage requires the use of a ball. Fortunately, there is this thing on Douluo, so there is no need to find a substitute like the first stage. just use the ball to practice. This stage needs to smash the ball, but the ball is 100 times stronger than the balloon, which means that the power must be greatly improved on the basis of the first stage, so that it can be done. But there is also a trick at this stage, that is to concentrate. Only by concentrating can one better control the released soul power, and strengthen its power, so that the soul power can be materialized, and finally break the ball. There is nothing to say about the process during the period. It took Yu Tianlin a week to successfully break the ball. After this stage is completed, the spiral pill has a prototype and has some power, but it is not enough. Now the power of the prototype of this spiral pill is too scattered. Yu Tianlin tried it out. After shooting it on a tree, it only formed a layer of lines like mosquito coils on the surface of the trunk. If you have to make a comparison, this power should be equivalent to a 10-year level soul skill, but it doesn't matter. There is still a third stage of development. As long as the third stage is completed, then the spiral pill will be officially developed. Still the same, after Yu Tianlin taught Lingling the insights and skills of the second stage, she devoted herself to the third stage. Because the power of the prototype of the spiral pill after the second stage is too scattered, what the third stage needs to do is to concentrate the power. So in Hokage, the third stage requires an air ball, and inside the balloon releases a spiral pill. Balloons are very fragile. If you can't concentrate the power perfectly, and if you spread out a little force, the balloon will be smashed, then it will be considered a failure. There is no trick at this stage. Just keep practicing until you can maintain the spiral pill with all your strength without destroying the balloon. Well, Yu Tianlin is still using porcelain bowls instead of balloons at this stage, but in the first stage, Yu Tianlin couldn't break the porcelain bowl at the beginning, and as long as he broke it, he was successful, so he only destroyed one porcelain bowl in the first stage. Now the third stage is different. He kept breaking the porcelain bowls from the beginning, and he needs to practice until it is not broken. Yu Tianlin broke dozens of pieces on the first day. Logically speaking, ordinary porcelain bowls are not expensive. Even if you smash thousands of them, it won't cost much, but Yu Tianlin's is different. It is ultra thin. One is worth 20 copper soul coins. 5 A porcelain bowl is equivalent to a gold soul coin. In other words, he lost nearly 10 gold soul coins in one day. Fortunately, Yu Tianlin is rich and willful. Even if 10 gold soul coins a day, only 300 gold soul coins a month, he thinks he can get out of the spiral pill in a month. Just kept practicing like this, and after another week, Lingling had completed the second stage, but Yu Tianlin was still smashing the porcelain bowl, and the third stage hadn't been completed yet. But it doesn't matter. After Yu Tianlin told Lingling about the requirements of the third stage, they practiced together. Finally, after a total of 25 days of calculation from the first stage, Yu Tianlin finally let the spiral pill skill appear on Douluo. Looking at the blue-purple light ball on Yu Tianlin's palm, Lingling asked, "Is this the finished version now?" "That's right, there are only 3 stages in total, so it's considered complete." Yu Tianlin nodded and said, "I call this skill Helix Pill." As for power, Yu Tianlin walked to a tree and pressed down his full version of the spiral pill. This was extremely easy. Yu Tianlin felt that he did not encounter any resistance at all. The spiral pill crushed the tree trunk in front of him, and he only needed to stretch his hand forward. After dispelling the spiral pills in their hands, the two moved closer to observe the damage caused by the spiral pills. I saw a circular hole was opened in the trunk. The size of the tree hole was exactly the same as the spiral pill just now. Lingling stretched out her hand to touch it, and felt that the inside of the tree hole was as smooth as a mirror, without any rough feeling. Lingling seemed a little surprised. "This is amazing. In the second stage, the power of the prototype of Helix Pill is only equivalent to 10-year level soul skills." Although Lingling didn't say anything, she still felt that Yu Tianlin had failed this time, but since Yu Tianlin didn't give up, Lingling is also willing to accompany him in the so-called third stage of development. However, what Lingling didn't expect was that after the completion of the third stage, there would be a qualitative change. This skill called Helix Pill could be so powerful. Everyone knows what spiral pills are, and the development process is covered in one chapter. End of this chapter. Chapter 63. March is over. Battle training. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After witnessing the power of the Helix Pill with her own eyes, Lingling practiced harder, and Yu Tianlin generously shared her experience with her, so within a few days, Lingling finally managed to master the Helix Pill. This skill, Yu Tianlin and Lingling each took a 3-month leave in their colleges, but they didn't expect to complete the development of Helix Pill in just 1 month, and there were 2 more months left. However, they did not relax during the 2 extra months, especially Lingling. Although she has learned the Spiral Pill, Lingling has no combat experience, and it is difficult to use it in battle for a while, so she needs to practice more. So in the rest of the time, Yu Tianlin has been fighting Lingling, in order to hone her combat experience, so that she can accurately grasp the timing of the battle. Of course, Yu Tianlin didn't use Wuhuan. Sometimes he used Chidori to fight Lingling's Helix Pill, and sometimes he used Helix Pill to fight Helix Pill. In terms of actual combat, Yu Tianlin appeared to be very strict and did not release any water, so after 2 months, Lingling's progress was rapid, and she was able to attack and defend with Yu Tianlin in a decent manner. In a short period of time, the levels of the two have increased by 1 level respectively. Yu Tianlin reached level 23, while Lingling reached level 24. When the March holiday was about to end, Yu Tianlin brought Lingling back to Tiando Royal Academy. It was already afternoon when the two of them arrived, and it was a break time, so the 6 Huangdo were not in the classroom, and Yu Tianlin didn't know where to find them for a while. Fortunately, Lingling knew that the two of them wandered around the main campus of Tiando Royal Academy and came to a slightly remote house. Walking to the front of the room, Lingling opened the door and said, "This is the training place for the 7 of us, they must be here." The room was very empty, and as soon as Yu Tianlin entered, he saw 2 figures colliding on the ring in the middle of the house. It was Yufeng and Oslo. Judging from the scene, it is undoubtedly Yufeng who has the absolute advantage, but Oslo has been avoiding Yufeng's attack by virtue of his flexible speed, and has not yet shown his defeat. Although Yufeng can fly, the height of this house is limited, so he can't fly too high. And his first soul skill is Wing Blade, which is a melee attack skill, so he wants to launch an attack. You have to dive close to Oslo, which gives Oslo a chance to fight back. The outcome of this battle is hard to say. Yu Tianheng, Dugwian and the brothers of the Shi family gathered around the arena to watch the battle between the two of them earnestly, and they didn't even notice that Yu Tianlin and Lingling pushed the door open. Only Qin Ming was aware of it, turned his head to look at the door, saw that it was Yu Tianlin and Lingling who came, and nodded at them both with a smile. The two walked to the side of the ring, did not disturb the battle between Yufeng and Oslo, just watched quietly. Not long after, when Yufeng swooped down again, Oslo saw the opportunity and dodged at the nick of time, and then the second soul ring on his body flashed suddenly, and his leopard claws extended, above surrounded by dark light. Oslo slapped the leopard claws strengthened by his second soul skill to Yufeng, who was close at hand, and when he was about to hit, Qin Ming, who was under the ring, appeared beside the two of them as if teleporting. "Hold Oslo's wrist directly, it's this speed again." Seeing this scene, Yu Tianlin's pupils shrank slightly, just like when he and Qin Ming sparred 3 months ago. Logically speaking, Qin Ming's martial soul is the Blazing Wolf, which should belong to the assault system, but why is his speed so fast? Without waiting for Yu Tianlin to think deeply, Qin Ming on the ring announced, "Okay, this time Yufeng will fight against Oslo, and Oslo will win." As a ground soul master but defeated the flying soul master, Oslo was in a good mood and couldn't help but said, "You Birdman can fly by himself, so arrogant every day. You are not defeated by me today, just ask, are you convinced?" Yufeng said with a gloomy expression, "You are lucky this time, and I will definitely not lose next time." Oslo said without showing any weakness, "I already know how to deal with you, and it will be the same again." "Okay." Qin Ming interrupted the two of them, and said, "Yufeng is mainly a problem with soul skills. His first soul skill is melee attack, and his second soul skill is defense. These two skills it doesn't give full play to the advantages of flying, and when you get a long-range attack skill after level, it will be very difficult for you to defeat Oslo." Hearing Qin Ming's words, Yufeng's state immediately recovered, looked at Oslo triumphantly and said, "Did you hear that?" Teacher Qin Ming said the same. "You too." Qin Ming shook his head helplessly. He had nothing to do with these two guys. He could only choose to ignore them, pointing in the direction of Yu Tianlin and Lingling and said, "Look who's here." Everyone immediately focused their attention on the direction of Qin Ming's finger, only to realize that there were two more people in the room. Lingling. Duguian was the first to react, walked quickly to Lingling's side, and gave her a hug. "You are finally back." Lingling nodded slightly, and replied, "N." The rest of the Huangdo people also gathered here. Yu Tianheng asked Yu Tianlin, "Shaolin, how have you been these 3 months?" 3 months ago, when the Huangdo people were running and training, Yu Tianlin took Lingling away. Yu Tianheng didn't know it at the time, but later found out that his brother and Lingling had disappeared again, so he went to ask Qin Ming. What Qin Ming told Yu Tianheng was that Yu Tianlin wanted to help Lingling develop a self-created soul skill to make Lingling have fighting power, so he took 3 months off. However, Yu Tianheng and the others are carrying out powerful training every day, and they can't remember the time when they are tired. I didn't expect that the 3-month period will come now. Facing his elder brother's question, Yu Tianlin nodded directly and said, "We succeeded." It was a success. Although he was mentally prepared, Yu Tianheng couldn't help being shocked when he actually heard the word success from his younger brother. Self-created soul skills, developed in only 3 months, can auxiliary soul masters really have combat power? Seeing his elder brother's expression, Yu Tianlin smiled and said, "The skill I developed for Lingling's sister has definitely reached the level of a 1,000-year soul skill in terms of power. Sister Lingling's current combat power, hehe. Really so powerful?" Qin Ming walked down from the arena slowly. He obviously heard Yu Tianlin's words, and couldn't help but said, "It just so happens that we are now in the stage of actual combat training. Lingling, are you interested in going to the arena to show off?" End of this chapter. Chapter 64 Lingling vs Stone Mill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Qin Ming's words, everyone immediately focused their eyes on Lingling, wanting to see how she would reply. "No problem, Teacher Qin Ming." Lingling chuckled, nodded and agreed to Qin Ming's request, and at the same time glanced at her partner, and asked, "But the opponent is?" "Yufeng and Oslo fought just now, so forget it. Yanzi is a third-ring soul master, so that's excluded." Qin Ming thought for a while, and said, "Tianheng and Shimo are 1 level higher than Shimo. So grind it to stone." Shi Mo is the younger brother of the Shi family brothers, Wuhuan Zunwugi, a master of the 27th level defense system. Qin Ming made such an arrangement obviously because of considerations. The main purpose of this battle is to see Lingling's newly learned self-created soul skills, but Yufeng can fly, and Oslo is fast, so he is not suitable as an opponent. Duguian is dangerously poisonous, Yu Tianheng's attack power is too strong. Qin Ming is afraid that they will not be able to hold back when they fight. Only the Shi family brothers took the defensive route, and choosing them could better demonstrate Lingling's skills. Regarding Qin Ming's arrangement, Shi Mo nodded and agreed. "In this case, let's start." Yufeng's expression was slightly excited. "I really want to see what skills you have developed in the past 3 months. Lingling and Shi Mo walked onto the ring after nodding each other. Yu Tianlin didn't worry much about it. After getting along for a while, Yu Tianlin knew that Shi Mo was still very stable. Even if Lingling lost, Shi Mo could still control your skills so that Lingling won't get hurt. Moreover, Lingling has been conducting combat training for the past 2 months. And she has accumulated a lot of combat experience now, and with the powerful attack skill of Helix Pill, it is not certain who will win." After the two stood still, Qin Ming said, "The battle begins." As Qin Ming's voice fell, Shi Mo's body suddenly changed. I saw Shi Mo tearing off his shirt, revealing muscles like granite, and the khaki-yellow light of soul power instantly rose from his feet, wrapping him inside, and immediately he heard a burst of bones all over his body. The whole person swelled up. Shi Mo bowed slightly, and the khaki-yellow light of soul power condensed a layer of tortoise shell on his back and chest. The tortoise shell was dark yellow with light yellow lines on it. There was a strange symbol in the center of the tortoise shell on his chest, and he didn't know what it represented. With the release of the martial soul, Shi Mo's limbs seemed to shorten a little bit, and 2 yellow soul rings rose up, coiling around his body. Yu Tianlin couldn't help complaining in his heart, "Good guy, take off your clothes first every time you fight. There is no one left, but maybe I will be like him in the future." Yu Tianlin is still turning into a dragon with one arm now. Even if he turns into a dragon with both arms in the future, it's fine, just wear short sleeves. When he turns into a dragon with both legs and his whole body in the future, he'll just explode his clothes and pants. Shaking his head and getting these distracting thoughts out of his mind, Yu Tianlin focused his attention on the ring. The stone mill on one side of the ring had undergone such a big change, but Lingling on the other side remained silent, and did not summon the 9-heart begonia. Also, in this battle, Jiuxin Haitang is useless at all, so there is no need to summon it. Carefully looking at Lingling on the opposite side, Mo just heard that the self-created soul skill that Lingling learned in the past 3 months is comparable to a 1000-year level soul skill. The power is not that strong, it should not be much worse, and he will take it seriously. So Mo directly lit up his first soul ring, a heavy breath was released from his body, and his thick tortoise shell was immediately covered with a layer of yellow light. After using the first soul skill to strengthen his own defense, Mo saw that Lingling was still not moving, so he took the initiative to push her over. Although he took the initiative to attack, Mo was not impatient, but stepped out step by step, appearing very calm. No way, Mo still used the first soul skill against Lingling. Yu Feng said, seeing this scene, this is too exaggerated. No, this is prudence. Yu Tianheng said with a hint of admiration, this is what a defense-type soul master should do. Never underestimate the opponent. Dugu Yen echoed, Mo is very cautious and has not revealed any flaws. Next, we will see how Lingling responds. The stone mill is cautious, but it's not enough. Yu Tianlin smiled, the black tortoise is indeed a top-level defensive animal martial soul, but the increased defensive power of the first soul skill can't stop the one I developed. Self-created soul skills. Helix Pill and Chidori are at the same level of skill. Yu Tianlin once used Qianio's second to defeat the diamond mammoth martial soul who was using the first soul skill to increase defense power. Now Lingling, who knows Helix Pill, is facing the same situation, driving the first soul skill plus defensive Xuanwu turtle Wuhuan. Of course, the black tortoise is still stronger than the diamond mammoth in terms of defense, and the level of the stone mill is 2 levels higher than that of Hu Yanshi. In addition, Lingling, who uses the spiral pill, is still not as good as Yu Tianlin in terms of combat power, so it is definitely impossible to achieve the same level as Yu Tianlin. She will never fall off the stone mill, but even if it doesn't drop for a second, it will probably make the stone mill suffer a bit. Hearing Yu Tianlin's words, Qin Ming, who had been silent all this time, finally said, really? I'm looking forward to it. At this time on the ring, facing the approaching stone mill, Lingling finally made a move, but there was still no change in her body. It seemed that she didn't activate any skills, and she just stepped forward to meet it. That's it? Oslo frowned, what exactly is the soul skill you developed? Why can't you see it? Don't worry, it's coming soon. Yu Tianlin's eyes brightened, spiral 1. As the distance between the two quickly closed, Mo instantly increased his speed, as if he wanted to use his own turtle shell to strike. Also, Mo's limbs were already shortened after being possessed by the martial soul, and coupled with the restriction of the tortoise shell, the arms could not move very well, so directly relying on the tortoise shell to collide is the best attack method. However, facing the impact of the stone mill, Lingling did not dodge at all. The palm of her right hand was held in the shape of a claw, and her right arm was charged, and then she slapped the tortoise shell of the stone mill fiercely. Just when Lingling slapped her right arm, a ball of white soul power condensed in the palm of her right hand. Under the eyes of everyone, the ball of soul power directly pressed on the stone-milled tortoise shell. With the hit of the spiral pill, the scene seemed to freeze for a moment, and then Mo's dark yellow thick tortoise shell was quickly shredded. End of this chapter. Chapter 65. Can Lingling win? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, the tortoise shell was constantly crushed by the spiral pills, and the stone mill couldn't help but let out a muffled groan. However, Mo's tortoise shell is thick enough. Although it is being crushed, it has not been completely pierced for a while, so the spiral pill has not directly touched his body. Of course, if he didn't make some countermeasures quickly, the tortoise shell would soon be overwhelmed. Fortunately, Shimo is a defense-type soul master, and he focuses on stability. Even if he used the tortoise shell to collide just now, he didn't rush forward like the attack-type soul master, but left some spare energy, so now he is suddenly hit hard. There is room for maneuver when hitting. Shimo slammed on the ground, instantly stopped his forward momentum, and then retreated violently with the help of Lingling's right hand. As the stone mill retreated, the spiral pill in Lingling's hand also slowly dissipated, and it seemed that she had no intention of taking advantage of the victory to pursue it. Hiss, that's amazing. Black Panther Oslo gasped, and said in shock, Lingling, an auxiliary soul master, can actually do this. Yu Tianlin cast a glance at him and said nothing. You can be shocked, but can you not take a breath? Global warming is caused by you guys. At this time, Shimo looked a bit embarrassed. A groove was cut on the tortoise shell on his chest. The size was the same as the spiral pill in Lingling's hand just now, but fortunately his tortoise shell was not directly pierced. This skill is so powerful. Yu Tianlin also sighed. The Xuanwu tortoise is a top-level defensive animal spirit, and Shimo uses the first spirit skill to increase the defense power. I can't break through it. I didn't expect this ordinary-looking soul power light ball to break through the stone mill's defense in an instant. Yu Tianlin smiled and said, Brother, even if it is the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Wuhuan, you are only at level 28 now, and you can't transform into a dragon yet, so the attack power is stronger than that of ordinary attack-type soul masters, and you can't break the Xuanwu tortoise. Defense is normal. The soul skill I developed is called Helix Pill, which is not simple. Although it looks like a light ball of soul power slightly larger than a fist on the outside, it is actually more mysterious inside. In terms of power, it is comparable to a 1000-year level soul skill. As far as skills are concerned, the black tortoise's defensive power is indeed strong, but Brother Shimo has not broken through to level, after all, and now there are only 200-year level spirit rings, and these alone cannot stop Helix One. What a Helix Pill! Qin Ming, who had been watching the arena, said with admiration, I probably noticed that the skill you developed called Helix Pill is to concentrate high-density soul power in the palm of your hand. On top of it, twist it irregularly, maintain and compress it, and finally form a light ball of soul power similar to a small typhoon on the palm of your hand. The power is really strong. It can directly smash the tortoise shell under the blessing of the first soul skill of the stone mill. And I can see that Lingling is merciful. After this spiral pill hits the opponent, it should be able to control the explosion, but Lingling just repelled Shimo and controlled it to dissipate, otherwise Shimo would suffer more serious internal injuries. Ahem, as expected of teacher Qin Ming, what you said is correct. The principle of Helix Pill is almost like this. After being praised by Qin Ming, the five-ringed Soul King, Yu Tianlin still felt a little refreshed. As for the subordinates, be merciful, we are all classmates after all. Sister Lingling can't really be cruel, can she? But don't be too complacent, kid. Seeing Yu Tianlin's appearance, Qin Ming couldn't help showing a smile. The black tortoise is a top-level defense-type animal martial soul, and its status in the defense system is comparable to that of your blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex. The status of martial souls in the assault system is the same, that is to say, because the number of people who possess the black tortoise martial soul is relatively small, there is no sect formed. I said so much just to tell you that the black tortoise is not that simple, so don't underestimate it. Yu Tianlin just smiled and didn't speak. He was born in the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect, and he had read the information about the Xuanwu turtle martial soul in the Zongmen Library Pavilion before. Of course he knew it was not easy, but Sister Lingling was not as weak as you imagined. On the ring, after the two separated again, Lingling did not continue to attack, but stood still. As for the stone mill, his tortoise shell was damaged a little, and he needed to slow down. The tortoise shell on Shimo's chest was transformed by soul power after all, so even if the tortoise shell was damaged, it could be repaired by soul power. While everyone was talking in the arena, Shimo finally repaired his tortoise shell, looked directly at Lingling opposite, and made another move. Shield! With a low growl, the second soul ring on Shimo's body suddenly flashed. A strange scene happened. The two tortoise shells on Shermo's chest and back suddenly separated and came into his hands, as if they had turned into two huge tortoise shell shields, and as the tortoise shell turned into a shield, Shermo's originally very strong body also shrunk a circle, and looked much thinner than normal, as if he had transformed his bones, essence, and blood into a tortoise shell shield. The diameter of the tortoise shell shield is 1 meter, and the left and right hands hold one, so it almost completely covers Shermo's thin and frail body behind it. The spiral pill you developed has extremely high requirements on the control of your own soul power, so Lingling should not be able to release both hands at the same time. Seeing Shermo using the second soul skill, Qin Ming smiled. So facing the two tortoise shell shields of the stone mill, what should Lingling do with only one hand capable of attacking? Okay, let's stop here. This battle is just to see what kind of thing the self-created soul skills you guys have created. I am very satisfied with the results that have been shown. In the past 3 months, you will also. It's not in vain, it's almost time to stop. After speaking, Qin Ming was about to step onto the ring and end the competition. Wait a minute, teacher Qin Ming. However, Yu Tianlin stopped Qin Ming's movements and stared at him with burning eyes. You seem to think that Sister Lingling is doomed, don't you? Don't underestimate Sister Lingling. In the past 3 months, we have not only been developing spiral pills. From your point of view, Lingling can still win. Qin Ming looked at Yu Tianlin slightly surprised. Do you have any hidden skills? Yu Tianlin said. Let's read on first. If the two of them are really in danger, it won't be too late for you to go up and stop them. It's interesting. Qin Ming looked at Yi Lingling on the stage and Yu Tianlin under the stage, and said with great interest, then let them fight. I want to see if you can do it. What a surprise for me. End of this chapter. Chapter 66. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the ring, using the second soul skill, Shermo, who turned his front and back tortoise shells into two shields, did not raise the shield to press down on Yi Lingling, but took a few steps back again, taking the initiative to distance himself. It seemed that Shermo had fully understood the power of Helix Pill, and was unwilling to fight Yi Lingling in close combat, and wanted to use long-range attacks to determine the outcome. It's not that Shermo can't win a melee battle with Yi Lingling. Holding two shields, it's just that the possibility of losing is also greater. After all, the skill of Helix 1 is a melee attack at first glance, so why should he use it to fight Yi Lingling? Fight in areas where others are good at. Yu Tianlin was watching the battle from the arena, and it was easy to analyze Shermo's plan from the perspective of passers-by. However, although Shermo wanted to fight long range, but he is a black turtle martial soul, does he have long-range attack skills? Soon, Shermo's actions told Yu Tianlin that he really had the means of long-range attack. Shermo yelled, and threw the tortoise shield in his left hand straight towards Yi Lingling. As for the tortoise shield in his right hand, he still held it in front of him. Shermo's two tortoise shell shields can be thrown out to attack, so the attack effect will be better, but he only uses one now, and the other is left to protect himself. This is the stability of a defense-type soul master. Qin Mingjie explained. Said, and glanced at Yu Feng at the same time. Yu Feng, you need to learn more from the Shi family brothers in this aspect. When you can be as calm as them, I will be relieved. Yu Feng didn't expect that Qin Ming would suddenly give him a lecture, and changed the subject a little awkwardly. Teacher Qin Ming, we'll talk about this later, let's watch their battle first. Yi Lingling on the ring looked at the tortoise shell shield flying towards her. Her pretty face was calm. Obviously this was completely expected by her. That's right, the 7 Huangdo were all friends and had fought side by side before, so they knew each other's abilities. Yi Lingling naturally knew the mystery of the second soul ability of the Shi brothers. Shermo took the initiative to distance himself, not knowing what his plan was. The edge of that tortoise shell shield is extremely sharp, whistling and spinning in the air to split the air. The momentum is extremely amazing, and there is a yellow soul power light behind the tortoise shell shield, which is connected to Shermo's left hand. Obviously even if it is thrown away it can be seen that the stone mill still has a certain ability to control it. Facing the roaring tortoise shell shield, Yi Lingling did not dodge, but chose the most dangerous method, to charge forward. Under the arena, seeing Yi Lingling's choice, Qin Ming's body couldn't help but tense up. Because the tortoise shell shield has a certain lethality, even if Yi Lingling has learned a powerful skill, her own defense is very low. Hit, I'm afraid you will be injured, so Qin Ming was already prepared to go up and block the tortoise shell shield at the critical moment. Rushing in front of the tortoise shell shield piercing through the air, Yi Lingling once again condensed a white light ball of soul power in her right hand, which was a spiral pill. Just when everyone thought that the tortoise shell shield would collide head-on with Yi Lingling's spiral pill, the stone mill in the distance snorted, and the yellow soul power light connected to the tortoise shell shield suddenly tightened, and the tortoise shell shield actually deviated a little. Obviously he shot to change the direction of the shield. Yi Lingling seemed to have expected this. She didn't stop her forward momentum, and let the tortoise shield pass by her side. In this scene, it seemed that Shiremo had shown mercy, but his next actions showed that this was not the case. The tortoise shell shield circled from Yi Lingling's side to behind her, and Shiremo continued to manipulate it, and saw the tortoise shell shield whirl in mid-air, directly attacking Yi Lingling's back. TSK, Shimo, you thick eyebrows and big eyes, you look very honest, so this is your true face. To play such a dirty trick, you must know that Sister Lingling is your teammate. Using this method against your teammates, does it fit? Yu Tianlin couldn't help complaining, but she wasn't very worried. Although this scene seems a bit dangerous, Yu Tianlin and Yi Lingling have been practicing for 2 months. With Yi Lingling's current level, she should be able to handle this kind of sneak attack from behind, even if Yi Lingling really can't stop it. Well, isn't there Qin Ming? Yu Tianlin can still trust Qin Ming's speed and strength, and he won't be in danger. The tortoise shell shield attacked Yi Lingling's back, but Yi Lingling didn't seem to notice it and continued to rush towards the body of the stone mill. At this time, Qin Ming couldn't help but jumped onto the ring, ready to make a move at any time. Just when the tortoise shell shield was about to hit, Yi Lingling slapped her right hand to the tortoise shell shield behind her without looking back. The timing was just right. The spiral ball hit the tortoise shell shield, and then exploded suddenly. The powerful impact directly blasted the tortoise shell shield backwards, and Yi Lingling also used this thrust to quickly approach the stone mill. How did Lingling do it? Everyone in the audience was shocked, and Yu Feng couldn't help but said, she obviously didn't look back. How did she know the position of the tortoise shell shield, and she just blocked it with the spiral pill? It's the light of soul power. Shiremo, the eldest of the Shir family brothers who has been seldom speaking, said rarely, both Shiremo and I use the yellow light of soul power to control the tortoise shell shield after we take it off. She discovered this, so her attention has been focused on the light of the soul power, and the change of the light of the soul power is used to judge the movement trajectory and attack position of the tortoise shell shield. It's easier said than done. Among the few of us, only me, Tianheng, and Shiremo can do this. Dugu Yan's eyes were full of surprise. The judgment in the middle requires a wealth of combat experience. Support and keep calm before the attack is about to hit, otherwise it will be self-defeating if you are not careful. Strange, Lingling is an auxiliary soul master. Why can she achieve such a level of combat experience? Dugu Yan looked at Yu Tianlin and asked, Shaolin, what happened in the past 3 months? Actually, it only took me 1 month to develop the skill of spiral pill and let Sister Lingling learn it. Yu Tianlin explained, during the remaining 2 months, she and I were constantly discussing actual combat training. Sister Lingling is able to keep calm at all times in the battle, plus she is good at thinking and drawing inferences from one instance, so she has made rapid progress. It took 2 months to reach this level. After explaining, Yu Tianlin cast his eyes on the ring, and the final blow was coming. Yi Lingling and Shiremo were about to decide the winner. End of this chapter. Chapter 67 Winner Points. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The successive advances brought Yi Lingling to the stone mill. Facing the stone mill holding the tortoise shell shield, Yi Lingling condensed another spiral pill without any hesitation, and slapped it directly. Shiremo now only has a tortoise shell shield in his hand. As for the tortoise shell shield thrown by him, because it went around and attacked Yi Lingling used the spiral pill to blast it in the opposite direction, so the distance is a bit far. Even if he is now, it also takes a little time to control that tortoise shell shield to fly back. There was no way out behind Shiremo, so he could only grit his teeth and push forward with the tortoise shield in his hand, ready to have a head-on collision with Helix 1, under the watchful eyes of everyone. Helix 1 collided with the tortoise shell shield again. This time the stone mill was unreserved, and he went all out. Even though the tortoise shell shield was constantly being ground by Helix 1, he did not take half a step back. Shermo's actions played a certain role. At least he is now blocking Lingling's Helix Pill. Even if Helix 1 wants to twist a hole in the tortoise shell shield, it will take a little time, and this time is enough for him to control the tortoise shell shield thrown out from the other side flew back and attacked Lingling's back again. This time Lingling's spiral pill needs to deal with the front, and there is no way to deal with the attack from behind. The situation seems to be tilting towards the stone mill. As long as he can block Lingling with the tortoise shield in his hand for a period of time, he can win, but can the stone mill really stop it? In addition to the physical attack caused by the high-speed rotation on the surface of the spiral pill, the controller can also control it to explode, releasing the power of this small typhoon compressed in the palm of the hand instantly. That's what Lingling did. Sensing the sense of threat approaching from behind, Lingling didn't hold back this time, and released the full power of the spiral pill. The white soul power light ball in Lingling's right hand suddenly burst into dazzling light, and then exploded directly. Under this powerful impact, the tortoise shell shield in Shermo's hand was instantly shattered, and even himself shot out. A mouthful of blood was blown out and fell off the ring. Although Shermo looked a bit miserable, Lingling didn't care about him at this time, and turned around quickly to deal with the tortoise shield that was still flying towards her. Fortunately, Shermo was blown away by her now, and lost the tortoise shield. Therefore, the flight trajectory of the tortoise shell shield will not change anymore, and Lingling can easily avoid it just by turning sideways. Qin Ming dodged to the vicinity of the stone mill, and caught his body just as he was about to fall to the ground. Stone mill. Are you okay? That everyone in Huangdo flocked to the stone mill. Only Yu Tianlin jumped onto the ring and came to Lingling's side. Sister Lingling, how are you? That the series of powerful attacks and defenses just now consumed not only her soul power, but also her physical strength. Lingling couldn't help panting a few times, and managed to calm down. I'm fine. After recovering, Lingling shook her head slightly, indicating that she had no problem, then walked off the ring and came to Shermo's side. How is Shermo? Shimo is fine. Seeing Lingling coming over, Qin Ming said, although your last blow was powerful, Shimo had a tortoise shell shield as a buffer after all, so although he suffered a little injury, he was not injured. Heavy. It's fine. Seeing Shermo sitting cross-legged on the ground, using her soul power to recover from her injuries, Lingling couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. If her teammate was seriously injured just because of a battle training, she would not be able to bear it. It's you, Lingling, who didn't expect you to be so powerful now. Qin Ming said with an admiring expression, you can actually defeat Stone Mill. Yes, yes. Yu Feng echoed, you must know that Shermoguang's soul power level is 4 levels higher than Lingling's, and as a battle soul master, his physical fitness is also higher than yours. In this case they can all win. That self-created soul skill called Helix 1 is really powerful. It's not 4 levels higher, but 3 levels higher. Yu Tianlin walked over at this time and said, during the past 3 months, Sister Lingling and I have both been promoted by 1 level. Sister Lingling is now 24 years old. Level. Hearing his younger brother's words, Yu Tianlin sighed, not only have you developed your own soul skills, but you have also been promoted to a level. That's amazing. It seems that you have also worked hard these 3 months. Being praised by everyone in turn, Lingling seemed a little at a loss and said, it's not bad, everyone has made great progress in the past 3 months. It's not just a factor of self-created soul skills. As a teacher, Qin Ming analyzed for everyone, this skill called Helix Pill is indeed very powerful in terms of power, comparable to a 1000-year level soul skill, but it's just that. Still not enough to defeat Stone Mill. The key lies in Lingling's combat awareness. I never thought that after 3 months of absence, Lingling's combat awareness has reached such a level. In the battle, she has always maintained neither arrogance nor impetuosity. She can analyze calmly. This is the reason why Lingling won the final victory. Yi Lingling looked very modest. Teacher Qin Ming has praised you. At this time, Shi Mo, who had roughly stabilized his injury, opened his eyes, scanned the surrounding people, stopped on Qin Ming, and said in a muffled voice, Teacher Qin Ming, I lost this time. It's okay, your performance is already very good. Qin Ming commented, as a defense-type soul master, your response is no problem from the beginning to the end, but because Lingling's spiral pill is too powerful, you can't stop it. That's all. No matter how strong the defensive power of the Xuanwugui Wuhuan is, the stone mill is only level 27, not even 1,000-year soul ring, and the power of the spiral pill has steadily reached the level of 1,000-year soul skill. It is normal for the stone mill to be unable to stop it, like in the original book. Tang San is already at level 29, and will soon break through to the level of the third ring. Even so, when he and Dai Mubai had a conflict at the Rose Hotel, both entanglement and parasite were used, but Dai Mubai just activated his Millennium Soul Ring skill White Tiger Vajra change, and he broke free from all the shackles of the blue silver grass. Tang San later told Xiao Wu that if he tried his best, he was only % sure that he would die with Dai Mubai. At this time Tang San didn't have a dragon's beard needle yet, and the strongest hidden weapon on his body was the godly Zhuge crossbow. According to the original book, as long as the soul master activates his third soul skill, he can block the attack of the godly Zhuge crossbow, so Tang San 3 are only % sure that they died together with Dai Mubai. There is no problem. However, when Tang San reached level 31, he would be able to grab Dai Mubai with the spider web restraint of the 1,000-year spirit ability level, making him unable to break free no matter what, occupying an absolute advantage. This is the power of 1,000-year soul skill, and there is a qualitative gap with a century-old soul skill. End of this chapter. Chapter 68 Drug Master Information. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Yi Lingling's combat prowess was displayed, everyone was happy for her. After all, it meant that she had a certain ability to protect herself. Now that she has the ability to fight, Yi Lingling will then undergo actual combat training with Huang Do and the others. This is also good. The abilities of the Huangdo people are comprehensive, flying in the air against the wind, suppressing Oslo's speed, Yu Tianling's tyrannical attack, Duguyen covering a large area with poisonous fog, and the defensive counterattack of the Shi family brothers. Yi Lingling is more and more harmonious. They will be able to accumulate all kinds of experience when they fight against each other, and they will be able to better deal with sudden attacks when the time comes. Although Yi Lingling has received combat training, it does not mean that she will become an attacker among the 7 Huangdo, and the 7 Huangdo also do not lack her combat power. If there is a team battle in the future, Yi Lingling will still as before. It is enough to open Jiuxin Haitang to heal all of them in the back. Her fighting power is only to protect her own safety. After Yi Lingling got on the right track, Yu Tianlin also returned to Thunder Academy to study hard and lived a day-to-day life. Before I knew it, a year and a half had passed. During this period of time, Yu Tianlin fulfilled the agreement with the Vice President of Thunderstorm, and obtained the number 1 score of Thunder level in the final exam of the first year. There is no doubt that it is the first, and it also crushed number 2 by a large margin. As for his cultural achievements, he was not bad either. He was in the top 3 in the exam. Combining the 2 subjects, he deserved to be number 1 in the Thunder class. It didn't take long for Yu Tianlin to break through to the 26th level after getting the first place in the Thunder level, and was promoted to the Thunder level. Now a year and a half has passed, and Yu Tianlin has reached level 27. At this time, Yu Tianlin was still 2 months away from 10 years old, and his soul power cultivation had reached this level. When he was 10 years old, he would definitely be able to reach level 28, which can be regarded as very powerful. You must know that Shui Binger is the limit of normal human beings' cultivation speed. Even so, she was only level 25 when she was 10 years old, a full 3 levels behind Yu Tianlin at the same age, so in a sense, Yu Tianlin can be regarded as surpassing human beings. Besides, in terms of his first soul ring, the age has been raised to about 500 years, compared with the early 1000 years when he entered school, it has increased by 500 years. The main reason is that it is inconvenient to be in Thunder Academy. every time the movement of attracting thunder is not too big, and Thunder Academy does not rain every night, so the year of the first Soul Ring is relatively slow. Of the extra 500 years of Soul Ring years, a relatively large part was returned to the sect for promotion during the annual leave. Thunder Academy had a 1-month annual vacation, and Yu Tianlin let go every night in the suzerain's exclusive practice room, which felt really cool. In 2 months, Yu Tianlin will be 10 years old. As the grandson of the master of the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect, his 10th birthday will be celebrated with great fanfare. Yu Tianlin's elder brother did the same when he was 10 years old, so Yu Tianlin is no exception, but before this time came, Yu Tianlin's father, Yu Mingfeng, personally went to Lei Ting Academy, went directly to Lei Tianlin to work with him, asked Yu Tianlin for a long vacation, and brought him 2 months in advance. Back to Zhongmen. As for the elder brother Yu Tianheng, his training at Tiando Imperial Academy was relatively heavy, and it was still early, so he didn't go back with the two of them, but he promised to return a few days before Yu Tianlin's 10th birthday. Although returning to the sect so much earlier is not without benefits, at least he can use the sect master's exclusive training room to practice and improve the year of his first soul ring. At night, after bringing Yu Tianlin to his practice room as usual, Yu Yuanjin took out a stack of materials from his storage soul guide and handed it to him, saying, Here are the materials you need, they're all drug-savvy people. Yu Tianlin heard the words and quickly took it. After he returned to the sect this time, he asked his grandfather to help collect the information of the medicine master, and now it seems that the results have been achieved. Seeing this scene, Yu Yuanjin shook his head slowly and said, Tianlin, although I don't know why you are suddenly interested in medicine, but I still have to remind you, don't delay the cultivation of soul power because of this, you know yet? Don't worry, Grandpa, I understand that the cultivation of soul power is the most important thing. Yu Tianlin patted his chest and assured, Look, I'm going to level 28 soon, and I will reach level 28 at the age of 10. It's a bit of a chance, but it's also inseparable from my hard work. Even if the 2 levels raised by taking Longyuan fruit and the 1 level increased when absorbing the second soul ring were removed, Yu Tianlin could still reach level 25 when he was 10 years old, equal to the limit speed of normal human soul masters. Then you practice hard, and I won't bother you. Seeing that Yu Tianlin knew what was in his mind, Yu Yuanjin didn't say much, and turned around and left. Seeing that his grandfather had left, Yu Tianlin didn't immediately go to practice next to the lightning rod, but flipped through the materials in his hand. The first page that came into view was Poison Douluo, and Yu Tianlin's head was filled with black lines, and he directly stuffed his information at the bottom. The purpose of Yu Tianlin's collection of medicine master's information is to know the fairy grass and treat Duguyen. Douluo will definitely not be able to do these 2 things, so there is no need to read his information, but Douluo actually got mixed into the list of masters of medicine. It can only be said that his title of Poison Douluo is quite powerful, and everyone can think of him when it comes to medicine. The second page is the information about Zhu Douluo Yueguan. Yu Tianlin thought about it, he really knows the fairy grass, maybe he also has a way to solve the problem of Duguyan's poisoning. It's a pity, Zhu Douluo is a member of the Wuhuan Palace, so he can't let him know about the fairy grass. And there are rumors that Zhu Douluo Yueguan has a grudge against poison Douluo Dugubo, so it's not realistic to expect him to treat Duguyan. After stuffing Zhu Douluo Yueguan's information at the bottom, Yu Tianlin continued to read. The next few people seemed to be relatively good at medicine, but Yu Tianlin looked at their information carefully, and found that they just had poisonous spirits or rare plants. Others saw their spirits after that. They will subconsciously feel that they know a lot about drugs, but they don't anyway. Yu Tianlin felt that it was unlikely that they would know such things as fairy grass, but Yu Tianlin was not in a hurry, and patiently scrolled down, and soon, a name came into his sight. It's this person. Seeing this person's information, Yu Tianlin felt a little impressed. He closed his eyes and retrieved his memory. He should be fine. Guess who this is? End of this chapter. Chapter 69. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The broken clan Yang Wudi, looking at the page of information in his hand, Yu Tianlin read softly, Yang Wudi, Wuhuan Soul Breaking Spear, 81 level assault contra, formerly affiliated to the Haotian school, one of the 4 single attribute clans patriarch of After looking over and over the information in his hand for a while, Yu Tianlin recalled the memory about Yang Wudi. I remember that in the original book, after Xiao Wu sacrificed, Tang San wanted to rebuild the Tang sect on the Douluo Continent, so he went to find the head of the Lizzie clan, Tai Tan, to join him, thus leading to the subsequent 4 single attribute clans. Yang Wudi was the last Contra to appear among the 4 single attribute clans. His cultivation of soul power was the lowest among the 4 patriarchs, but in terms of combat power, he was the strongest, because after being abandoned by the Clear Sky School, the Peji clan suffered the most casualties, so Yang Wudi's hatred for the Clear Sky School is the deepest among the 4 patriarchs. When Tang San subdued him, he insisted on fighting with him, barely considered a victory, and then gave him the Yoxiang Qilua immortal grade, and this 2-pronged approach, it was considered that Yang Wudi and the Pozi clan were pulled into the Tang sect. From this, it can be seen that Yang Wudi knows the immortal product of Yoxiang Qilua, and as I said later, Yang Wudi even knows the lovesickness Heartbroken Red, so from a comprehensive point of view, he knows the fairy grass, and it is not just 1 or 2 plants. He can recognize most of the grass jelly, combining with what is described in the materials. The drug business of the Pa family is very large, and it can be seen from the side that they know a lot about drugs. As for Du Guyan's poisoning problem, Yang Wudi should also be able to handle it. In the original book, Qian Renxue pretended to be the prince of the Heaven Dou Empire, Xue Qinghe, and poisoned Emperor Xueye. Du Gubo couldn't handle this kind of mixed poison at all, so he could only use poison to fight poison. Finally unable to stand it anymore, Du Gubo hurriedly ran to Tang San for help, and this time Tang San took Yang Wudi with him. In the end, they encountered Qian Renxue, Snake Spear, and Porcupine Douluo in the palace, exactly 3 against 3. Tang San opened up. Qian Renxue was a little bit off, so the 2 of them fought and lost. Du Gubo was calculated, his opponent just restrained him, so he was suppressed in the battle. Only Yang Wudi shined brilliantly, fighting against another titled Douluo. He never lost the win from the beginning to the end. You must know that in the first part, titled Douluo still has a lot of weight. Except for the Shrek 7 monsters who have the aura of the protagonist, it seems that no one can leapfrog to fight titled Douluo. Even the martial soul fusion skills such as the Golden Holy Dragon and the combined attack of Dragon and Snake can only compete with titled Douluo. But Yang Wudi was different. He was fighting titled Douluo one-on-one, and he was able to do this to such an extent, which showed how terrifying his fighting power was. Afterwards, reinforcements arrived. Tang San and the others rescued Emperor Xueyi, and Du Gubo and Yang Wudi helped him detoxify. It was said that Du Gubo helped, but Yu Tianlin reckoned that he was just making soy sauce. If Du Gubo could detoxify, he would have been cured long ago. After all, it was Yang Wudi who could handle it. Even Emperor Xueye's troublesome mixed poison can be solved. Du Guyan's problem can only be regarded as trivial, that is, to find her a soul bone, and then use medicine to guide the jade phosphorus snake venom into the soul bone. It should not be difficult. Therefore, Yang Wudi can fully meet the conditions Yu Tianlin needs. It's just that the broken clan is a bit far away. Yu Tianlin sighed. Judging from the data, the Pozi clan mainly developed in the Star Luo Empire, and Yu Tianlin's current Landian Overlord clan is located in the northwest province of the Tiandou Empire. Across a small half of the continent, however, Yang Wudi was indeed an option. Yu Tianlin first pulled out his information and put it aside, then continued to flip through the stack of information in his hand to see if there were any other people who met the requirements. After reading all the information, Yu Tianlin found that there was really no better candidate than Yang Wudi, so he was the only one. As for the Star Luo Empire, although it's a bit far away, but for the sake of the fairy grass and to help Du Guyan detoxify, it's better to go there. Although Yu Tianlin had already decided to go to Yang Wudi, but it was not possible for a while, and he had to finish his 10th birthday celebration first. After making some plans in his mind, Yu Tianlin collected all the materials, came to the side of the lightning rod, and began to practice at night. Try to increase the year of the first spirit ring, otherwise you will have to go to the Star Luo Empire later, and it is estimated that there will be very little time to attract the thunder quenching ring. In the next few days, everyone in the sect was preparing for Yu Tianlin's 10th birthday celebration. Because of their closer relationship, several affiliated sects of the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect sent them to congratulate Yu Tianlin on his 10th birthday. The birthday representatives all arrived early. After Yu Mingfeng settled them down, he even brought Yu Tianlin to meet them. After all, as the direct line of the suzerain of the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect, it is necessary to establish a good relationship with the representatives of the subordinate sects. After that, the elder brother Yu Tianheng also came back, but he managed to catch up with the time very well, and came back the day before Yu Tianlin's 10th birthday. On the day of Yu Tianlin's 10th birthday celebration, a lot of people came, as long as the forces in the northwestern province of the Tiando Empire sent representatives to come. The scene was very lively. Others are lively, but Yu Tianlin, as the protagonist of the celebration, can only sit in his seat honestly, waiting for a lot of people he doesn't know to come to congratulate him, and he even smiles back. Laughing into facial paralysis, this kind of dealings is really tiring. After sending all the guests away, Yu Tianheng came over and said with a smile on his face, "Xiaolin, how do you feel today?" One word, tired. Yu Tianlin said weakly, "It's much more tiring than fighting." "Ha, I knew it." Yu Tianheng laughed loudly, "It was the same feeling on my 10th birthday." Yu Tianlin couldn't help but think back to 4 years ago, when his elder brother Yu Tianheng celebrated his 10th birthday. He was not yet 6 years old, and he hadn't even awakened his martial soul. Now I am 10 years old, and I will be 14 years old in another 4 years, and I don't know what will happen to me by then. Forget it, don't want that. Yu Tianlin asked Yu Tianheng, "Brother, my 10th birthday is over now, when are you going to Tiando Royal Academy?" "Tomorrow, let's go tomorrow. After all, I have something to do." Yu Tianheng thought for a moment and said, "What about you, Xiaolin, do you want to go with me tomorrow?" "I won't be with you anymore." Yu Tianlin shook his head. He didn't plan to return to Thunder Academy for the time being. End of this chapter. Chapter 70 Convincing Grandpa. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? You're going to the Star Luo Empire? Looking at the little grandson Yu Tianlin in front of her, Yu Yuanjin was shocked. Although very surprised, Yu Yuanjin quickly reacted, frowned and said, "Which game are you playing again? Why do you want to go to the Star Luo Empire for no reason?" "Ahem, it's nothing, just something." Yu Tianlin coughed dryly and said, "Go to the Star Luo Empire, what's the big deal?" Seeing that Yu Tianlin wanted to fool him, Yu Yuanjin said directly, "No, I won't agree if I don't tell the reason today." Seeing his grandfather's attitude, Yu Tianlin scratched his head a little. How should he tell him? This nonsense is not easy to make up. In fact, in the final analysis, it is still for the fairy herb in the eyes of Binghuoliangi. Logically speaking, all the celestial herbs should be considered Douluo Bo's property now, but he neither knows nor can use them. It is a waste of resources to keep the treasure mountain empty. Yu Tianlin did know the news about Binghuoliangian, and he was backed by the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect. His grandfather was a level 96 title Douluo, and he completely crushed Douluo Bo in terms of strength. The importance of grass was told to Grandpa, so Grandpa went out and robbed it directly, but the relationship between Douluo Yan and Yu Tianheng has reached that level, so Douluo Bo can be regarded as half of his own. If it is not necessary, it is best to use a gentle method to deal with it, and Yu Tianlin doesn't know the fairy grass either. He does know the name of the fairy grass. After finding the fairy grass, he can compare the name with the shape of the fairy grass, and recognize some of them, such as the 8-petal fairy orchid. Hearing the name, he knows that the shape should have 8 pieces petals of orchid, but this was not enough. Yu Tianlin remembered that there were strict requirements for picking and preserving the celestial grass. He didn't know these, so even if he recognized the celestial grass, it would probably be scrapped when it was picked. That why Yu Tianlin also didn't know anything about the requirements for taking the celestial grass. In general, there are many problems. At this time, it was time to find a knowledgeable person, and Yu Tianlin's chosen target was Yang Wudi. Yang Wudi should know the types, picking, preservation and consumption of most of the fairy grasses, and he must also have the ability to cure Duguian. Therefore, Yu Tianlin's plan is to go to Yang Wudi to learn about the fairy grass, and to find a way to treat Duguian, and then go to Douluo Bo to treat Duguian's need to cherish medicinal herbs. Finally got the grass jelly, perfect. As for how to learn medicine knowledge from Yang Wudi, let's talk about it after we find him. There is always a way. After careful consideration, Yu Tianlin said, "Okay, Grandpa, let me tell the truth." Yu Yuanjin's expression didn't change in any way. he just stared at Yu Tianlin quietly, as if to say, I see what your brat is going to make up. Do you still remember the information about those medicine masters I asked you for some time ago? The reason why I want to go to the Star Luo Empire is to visit a medicine master. Yu Yuanjin asked concisely, who is it? Yu Tianlin replied, the patriarch of the Posey clan, Yang Wudi. You want to look for him? Hearing Yu Tianlin's answer, Yu Yuanjin frowned. Tianlin, why are you looking for him? You're not really interested in medicine, are you? I still know about the Posey clan, the original affiliated sect of Heoshenzong. Yu Yuanjin said, after Heoshenzong sealed the sect, the Wuhuan Palace attacked the affiliated sect of Heoshenzong. The broken clan suffered the heaviest loss. Speaking of this, Yu Yuanjin looked deeply at Yu Tianlin, and said, the Posey clan is extremely good at drug research, and the patriarch Yang Wudi is the best among them. But it is also because of his obsession with drug research, so their cultivation speed is inevitably slowed down. Patriarch Yang Wudi was a level 81 Contra 10 years ago, but until now, he is still level 81, and his cultivation has not improved much. Even if he reaches the realm of Contra, the speed of cultivation will become very slow, but it is too exaggerated not to advance to a level in 10 years. In drug research. Grandpa, I understand what you mean. Yu Tianlin said, you are afraid that like Yang Wudi, I am also addicted to drug research and will relax my cultivation, right? Yu Yuanjin didn't speak, but the meaning was obvious. Yu Tianlin continued, Grandpa, you are worrying too much. I don't intend to do in-depth research on medicine, so I won't waste time relaxing in cultivation. Yu Yuanjin asked suspiciously, since that's the case, why are you looking for Yang Wudi? Yu Tianlin didn't answer, but asked instead, Grandpa, you used all the dragon source fruits in the sect to practice, and wanted to break through to level 97, did you succeed? Yu Yuan sighed, shook his head and said, level 97 is not that easy to break through, I feel like it's almost there, but in the end it still fails. Sure enough. Yu Tianlin said clearly, the reason why I want to go to Yang Wudi is to see if I can use medicine to help you break through, Grandpa. If you can break through to level 97, we Blue the Electric Overlord Sect can also better face the turbulent situation on the mainland. Hey, you just want to go to the Star Luo Empire, and it's all about me. Yu Yuanjin said angrily, forget it, it's not a big deal anyway, if you want to go, then go. Yu Tianlin said in surprise, thank you, Lord. Don't worry, I haven't finished my sentence yet. However, Yu Yuanjin interrupted Yu Tianlin with a wave of his hand, and said, if you want to go to the Star Luo Empire, you can, but you must promise me a few conditions. Yu Tianlin hesitated at first, then said, Grandpa, tell me. Yu Yuanjin stretched out a finger and said, first, you can't go now, you are already at level 28, stay in the sect first, cultivate to level, and then go after you get the third soul ring, how do you go? That's no problem. Yu Tianlin agreed without hesitation, I just want to stay in the sect for a while and strengthen the first spirit ring. Yu Yuanjin nodded, stretched out his second finger and said, second, I will arrange an experienced guard for you. If you encounter an unexpected situation when you go out, you must listen to him, how about it? Yu Tianlin replied, it doesn't matter. If I am really in danger, I will definitely not be self-righteous. I will do whatever the guards tell me to do. Yu Yuanjin continued, third, in order to prevent you from really relaxing your cultivation, I want you to promise that you must break through to level 15 before you turn, Are you confident? Yu Tianlin smiled confidently, Grandpa, you don't have to worry about this, I think I can break through to level 14 at the age of, End of this chapter.